Welcome to That's Good Sports. Hold on, let me do that again. Welcome to the That's Good Sports podcast on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, anywhere you can listen or watch bullshit. Our bullshit is here. I'm Brandon Perna here with...
What's up, guys? I'm Will Keys.
Will Keys, writer for ThatsGoodSports.com. Also, he is into carpentry.
Sure, why not?
Will let me say whatever I want on this podcast, which is why it works. I'm going to post this episode on my main YouTube channel. We've been posting it on my second YouTube channel, That's Good Broncos. You could subscribe there if you want to watch these things, but there's a link to Podbean in the description where you can download and listen to these like a regular podcast. But I'm posting on That's Good Sports because I haven't posted anything all week. I have been insanely busy. I haven't been able to do anything in my normal schedule, and I may have some big news next week, or I may not. Well, either way, I'll have news to fill you in why I was so busy. And when I say big, it could be pretty big, but it might be nothing. But I can't say anything until next week. So that's what they call a tease, I believe, right, Will?
Yeah, sure, why not?
You went to journalism school.
Yeah, barely. Yeah.
You're supposed to know how to do like radio and TV and stuff.
Yeah, they teach you all of those.
What did you focus on there?
Oh, definitely just writing. And okay. I made like a 10-minute documentary about strip clubs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Full nudity?
You'll have to watch and find out.
2 teases.
Yep.
And the second one's an actual strip tease.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's a little play on words there.
I would actually like to see that because I went to video school like 10 years ago. I graduated from college 10 years ago.
I graduated from college.
No, 12 years ago. Shit.
Yikes.
Oh. Look at me now.
Father Time catching up with us on this episode of That's Good Sports.
Yeah, I just got a haircut, so I hope I look younger.
Yes.
Thanks, Will. Okay, so this podcast, if this is your first time listening, you're like, this sucks. But we talk about football. We do half about the Broncos, half about the NFL. And since there was a ton of NBA news, we're going to throw a little bit of basketball news in there. And when we get to that point, we don't need to hear any bullshit about how basketball isn't football. We know the difference between sports, but we're going to talk about it for 5 minutes. So that is a preview of what's happening. We're going to start with the Broncos. Will, what are we going to talk about?
All right, so the first piece of news is a report coming out of the Broncos camp that they're unlikely to exercise Paxton Lynch's fifth-year option.
Oh, this is huge.
This is big news.
Huge breaking news.
Shocking for everybody, I'm sure. How shocked on a scale of 1 to 1,000 are you?
1. I'm at 1 level of shock.
Yeah. It's just after you saw him crying on the sideline in Oakland, like you can't come back from that. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are.
You never cry in Oakland. That's a rule. Obviously, I think everybody understands that Paxton Lynch is underperformed. So I don't want to just rag on him because he's posted a lot of Instagram videos of him working out. Not a lot of which I saw were throwing footballs, but a lot of working out. Mm-hmm. And so he's trying. He's trying. I think he's probably a nice guy, but the Broncos, I think it's safe to say at this point, should not have drafted him. Yes. I think they have a guy behind him in Chad Kelly who's, without ever seeing Chad Kelly play a down of football in the NFL, if I were going to bet on it, I would bet on him being a better backup quarterback, and I wouldn't hesitate to bet all of my money.
Yeah, no, I would have to agree. I'm looking forward to seeing Chad Kelly just in training camp in the preseason.
Everybody is. So swag, so hot, so machine gun, so Kelly.
He seems like he's taking football seriously. I think he's always taken football seriously, but I think he's taken life, the profession and life and off the field seriously. Yeah. Which to take football seriously, you kind of have to take your off the field life seriously as well. because in the NFL, like the two just go hand in hand.
You definitely have to.
Offseason.
How cool though? I mean, they were really a season late with Last Chance U.
Yeah,
like if their first season was when he was still there, that would have been awesome. Like because he probably would have gotten drafted maybe higher because he had a ton of success there, and you get a behind the scenes sort of look at him as a person. And depending on how he was there, I don't know. Maybe that would have hurt his draft stock quite a bit. But I would have loved to, because that show's cool. So I would have loved to see him knowing like now that he's a guy that's in the NFL. But yeah, I think Broncos fans in general are probably more excited about him than Paxton. And I'm not saying Paxton's gotten a completely fair shot yet on the field. He's had his opportunities, but he's never been like ready for those chances. And that I think says enough to me about him as a player moving forward. And you just got to stop drafting guys so fucking tall too. I mean, offended as a short person. Yeah, we need to give more Doug Flutie's a chance. Goddamn right you do.
He didn't play like atrociously in Week 17. He was awful in the Oakland game, and he probably deserved to start crying because he was very bad.
Oh, but yeah, that was rough.
That too, like that was just a tanking team that, like, no, I don't think you could have thrown anybody in there. And they wouldn't have had a shot, really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he hasn't gotten a completely fair shake on the field. He's looked bad. He's looked okay. He has the athletic skills. I just don't think he has the mentality to do it. And even if he turned out to be pretty good at playing quarterback physically in the NFL, I don't think he's built mentally to be a long-term franchise winning quarterback. And if you know that, you move on. Like, I don't know. You talked about being much more excited about Case Keenum. Like, I'm not even thinking about Paxton Lynch or Chad Kelly at all this offseason. Like, I'm just excited to watch Case Keenum play. And I think that's how most people probably feel. And I think that's why, like, we opened with Paxton Lynch fifth-year option that's like non-news really, but it's one of the few only thing that's happened that we can talk about. So,
oh yes, the news has been it's been a slow news week really in the NFL. It's just all been basketball really, but we'll touch on that at the end. Another small thing was Tom Heckert, who's in the Broncos front office, stepping down to focus on health issues, which more specifically is a treatable blood disorder. So it looks like Gary Kubiak's kind of taken over the lead role in the Broncos front office.
This microphone kind of looks like a penis head, but
a little, yeah, now that I think about it.
Yes.
The penis head looks like a microphone.
You can't see that if you're listening, but just take my word for it. This puts Kubiak in a much bigger role. He's like the only senior guy of player personnel now, right? Senior director.
Something like that.
Correspondent. He's the guy for contributor, beat writer,
columnist,
marathon sprinter. He's going to be in charge of who the Broncos bring in personnel-wise. I think this news is bigger than the Paxton Lynch news because I think it sort of solidifies that Gary Kubiak's not going anywhere. His role is going to continue to grow with the Broncos, and I think what he does probably better than John Elway is what we need to see is that he's going to be a better evaluator of college talent. I think John Elway has proven he can do well in free agency, but I think the Broncos' weakness has been developing young talent and bringing in the right talent. And I think with Kubiak, that's sort of the direction. And, if Elway ever changes his role, I think Gary Kubiak's the guy who could be your next general manager for the Broncos. But that's just me guessing.
Yeah, I mean, you can already see the influence that he's had on this team from a personnel perspective. because you look at the starting quarterback, and they probably don't sign Case Keenum in the offseason without Gary Kubiak, who got 2 years with him in Houston and got to see him up close and personal. Obviously scouted him because he went to the University of Houston, liked him enough to sign him as an undrafted free agent. And by year 2, he benches Matt Schaub, who's been the best quarterback in Texans history to that point, and puts in an undrafted guy who was really unproven, and he ended up playing pretty well. My question, though, is you ever think Gary Kubiak will go back into coaching? Like, what if the Broncos went like 6-10 or 7-9 this year, and they fired Vance Joseph and said, like, what if we just give it back to Gary Kubiak?
No, I could easily see that happen. I think depends a lot on two things. One, John Elway, and two, Gary Kubiak's health, whether that really is or is not a question. It was definitely a question when he was in Houston, and it became one in Denver. I mean, he had to miss a game when Joe DeCamillis was the interim head coach for health reasons. So, like, I don't doubt that, but maybe time away, and maybe if he changes his lifestyle, he can do it. So I don't know where Kubiak stands with his health, but I think Elway and him decided the coaching relationship wasn't going to work because Kubiak he's okay to tell John Elway no. Like, Elway,
he's like the only person.
Right. And
which is good.
Joseph is the exact opposite of that. And so I think Elway has to see that he's not going to succeed with that kind of head coach for him to want Kubiak to be that guy. Because if Elway wanted another person who wasn't going to, do whatever he said, the Broncos would have hired Kyle Shanahan. So I think if Kubiak coaches again, I don't think it'll be with the Broncos. I don't think it's out of the question. But I think he might be better suited to do what he's starting to do now. Like, if the stress level is lower, like your quality of life's better, stress can wreak fucking havoc on your body. So I would want Kubiak to do something that he's good at, which is evaluating young talent and bringing those people to Denver. And I think Kubiak was a really good coach, but I think you could find somebody equally as good, if not better, who is younger and maybe more innovative with how they run the team, specifically the Broncos offense, which has been in a rut for I don't even know how many fucking years now, 3. But, that's kind of what I would want to see, I guess. Everything I just said was a guess. So I don't know.
This whole podcast is a guess, really.
We should just call it, welcome to two guys guess things about sports that they didn't research enough.
Correct. But, like, have you ever, like, actually thought about, like, how much stress it is to be an NFL head coach? Like, you just hear the stories about them, like, sleeping in their office most nights. Like, their days start at, like, 4 a.m., like, watching film, running on the treadmill. And then, like, they finally get dinner at, like, 8:30, eat for, like, 5 minutes, go back to watching film, sleep for, like, 2 hours, see their kids, like, once a month.
Yeah, if you don't like your family, it's the perfect job.
Yeah, which I guess most of them don't.
Yeah, if you don't want to be around your fucking kids or wife, then become an NFL head coach.
Yeah, you'll never have to see them.
Yeah, that would not be a life for me.
No, yeah, for most normal people, I think.
I always pictured myself more as like a Hall of Fame quarterback type anyway, so.
Yeah, well, there's still time. Okay, so the Broncos signed the last rookie in their rookie draft class, Oregon running back Royce Freeman, 4 years. No idea what the money is. Doesn't matter. What do you think about Royce Freeman headed into this year? Think he's going to start?
Yeah, I think at some point he'll be the starter. Honestly, I already thought he was signed, just as when they signed Bradley Chubb. We both agreed we thought he was already signed. So I think they just don't sign these guys so they have like a little bit of news they can do. Like, oh, we signed Royce Freeman because we know nothing's going to happen on July 5th.
It's actually very considerate of him.
Yeah, it's for our entertainment. I think he'll end up being the starter. I think he's built to be your first and second down back, your short yardage guy. you don't grab a guy like that in the draft unless you plan on using him. I think Devontae Booker's got a lot to prove, and I think D'Angelo Henderson's a better change of pace back if either one of those guys are starting. So I hope Freeman or Booker start, and then we see more of D'Angelo Henderson. I think he could really provide a dynamic spark to the offense. But Royce Freeman, I think, will get a lot of carries.
Yeah, I think it will probably be the guy who starts by the end of the season. I don't know, why the Broncos seem to be so enamored by Devontae Booker. He's a solid number 2 guy. I think that can do a little bit of everything pretty well. But he's already kind of getting up there just because he's an old rookie. And like I say, getting up there, he's 25.
Yeah. I mean, they might just want to use him while he's cheap and then not receive.
I guess so.
Freeman. I think the biggest thing that'll determine how much Royce Freeman plays is how quickly he picks up on the offense and pass protection. If he's good in pass protection, then he's going to be your guy, because I think he's maybe a little more talented than Devontae Booker. And the huge question mark with rookie running backs is always them learning to block in the NFL. So if he does that well, I think he'll play early. If it takes him, I think by mid-season, he'll have it down, and that's when I think he might start to get more carries.
Yeah, I mean, blocking for running backs is really important. Just ask Devontae Freeman and the Falcons. They lost the Super Bowl because he didn't pick up a block. And Matt Ryan fumbled. So Royce, hit those sleds. But one thing that really concerns me about him, he's wearing number 37. And has there ever been a good player who's worn the number 37? I can't think of any.
That's a good question.
He's got to change it. It just has to change.
I can't think of a single person who's worn 37. Let's see.
I can't think of a good 37 in any of the sports, to be honest.
From 2001, you had Tony Carter. He was all right for a while. Remember they called him Sticky Man Tony Carter.
Okay.
He had one good Tyrone Poole, Cecil Sapp.
Oh, Cecil Sapp, sure.
Calvin Lowry, Alex Haynes, Anthony Lynn. Oh, Anthony Lynn.
Okay.
Anthony Lynn.
Head coach now.
Chargers head coach. See, you learned something today on this fucking podcast. And
yeah, that's the one and only thing.
Don't forget that, Spanky. Yeah, in terms of Broncos history, I don't see Bob Wade, Steve Trimble, Steve Fitzhugh. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Ditch 37.
Yeah.
What's available, though? I don't know.
20. He wore 21 in college, but I think
Sua Cravens took that. Now.
Yeah, 22 has been taken by Tremaine Brock.
Oh, they should have given a running back needs 22.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 24 is open, but you think it's a little soon for 24? Speaking of the number right behind you. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Champ.
What's your stance on retiring 24 or just holding off?
I don't give a fuck about retiring numbers. Anybody should. I think John Elway's number shouldn't be fucking retired. I think Case Keenum should have been able to wear 7. Did we talk about this?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah,
he's wearing 4.
When I was 13 or 14 and John Elway retired, I was like, nobody should ever wear his number again. But now as an adult, I don't give a shit. It's a number on a team. He has a Super Bowl MVP. He's a Hall of Famer. He doesn't need the honor of nobody wearing his number. And Elway, in his position, could change that. He could have said, you know what, Case Keenum 7. He's always been 7. I'm going to let him wear 7. He's our guy now. I believe in him, but he didn't. I mean, I think he should have given the number to Marquette King, but
true.
Yeah, I think Tremaine Brock should have taken 24 if he wants to be a great corner, and then Royce Freeman could have had 22. That was CJ's number, right? Was 22?
It was. See, I kind of disagree. I believe in the power of numbers, which is why I'm worried about him wearing 37 in the first place. However, I don't like teams like the Yankees and like the Celtics that retire basically like half their numbers. And you got like Aaron Judge wearing like 99 because that's like basically the only number from one
left
to
for him to wear.
That's left.
But it's just like a whole team full of 99s.
Yeah. Not like decimal points, imaginary numbers, like negative.
-1.
Yeah, There's the hashtag.
I think fans would learn a lot more about math if more numbers got retired.
Yeah. Some dudes just got like the quadratic formula on the back of his jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like you're a relief pitcher. Like there's nothing to choose from. Here's pie.
I'll have pie, please.
Yes, 3.14. Just kidding, I'm not a nerd. Okay. Should we switch to some
NFL? This is the part of the podcast where we go from the Broncos to NFL news. And this is our transition.
Yes, please respect our privacy while we transition. Okay, so there's a new rule. Yeah, it took you a little bit. There's a new rule that says the NFL will reward snitches who snitch on their fellow PED user. They'll cut the snitch's suspension in half, 50%. So let's say you and I are both taking PEDs. We're both injecting alien jizz.
Right.
And so like the NFL catches wind that I'm, taking PEDs. And they say, hey, it's going to be 4 games, but we'll knock it down to 2 games if you dime someone out. And I tell them, hey, Brandon Perna has also been indulging in a little bit of alien jizz too to help his podcasting ability. I get 2 games. You get 4 games. Ideally, I think no one ever knows that I ratted you out, but
you would get found out.
Yeah, and ideally, I get stitches because that rhymes.
Yeah, when I returned, you would be fucking dead. You wouldn't just get stitches. You'd be shanked in organs.
In the kidney, probably.
You would bleed out in the locker room.
I would probably deserve it, too.
And I don't want to do that to you, but if you rat me out, that's money. You're taking money out of my pocket. Now, if you're the guy who, if the money is more important to you, if you're making, league minimum, and you rat out a guy on a big a contract that has like 20, 30 million guaranteed, then I sort of get it, I guess. Like, oh, that guy can afford it. I need to feed my family, and I could be out of the league next year from a logistical standpoint. But I don't think players are going to rat each other out. And I think it's fucking beyond stupid, like so stupid that this is the approach the NFL has taken. Like, they really do not give a shit about players because now, after they've been criticized all week for mishandling or empowering Jameis Winston, now they're asking other players to fuck over other players for reduced sentences. They negotiated Jameis Winston's sentence, his 6-game suspension to 3, for an apology. But all of these PED users, none of them, Julian Edelman's suspension appeal completely denied, and they can't even say what the fuck was in his body, which is fine by us. We fucking hate the Patriots. I'm cool with that, but it's not right. And now you're going to try to get players to tattle on each other. The NFL is they're just stupid. They're stupid the way they handle these situations.
Yeah, it comes across like a league that really doesn't understand its employees very well.
Wow. And I don't know. And PEDs, like it's such a broad thing. Like if you look at the NFL banned substance list, you will see why it might be easy to accidentally put the wrong fucking thing in your body. I also recently learned So if you're taking a supplement, and the supplement comes from Company X, and Company X makes multiple supplements, okay? And you're a player, and you know this supplement you're taking is okay, it's been cleared through the NFL, but they make another supplement that has something you can't take in it. If they don't clean out their the things they use to make these formulas, there could be trace amounts of that banned substance in the shit you're buying that doesn't have it. So that's one way an innocent guy could test positive. I believe a lot of these guys, as they get older and they get injured, they do take stuff they know they might test positive for, but they're trying to heal their body so they can get back onto the field. I think it's fine to try to keep the competitive playing field, the same. But I think the NFL is they haven't shown any sort of leniency in evaluating these PED cases on a case-by-case thing. It's like the one thing, you see it happen, players get 4 games, and then they don't give a shit, your reason. But if you sexually assault a woman, they'll fucking negotiate with you. That's the approach they've taken. And it's backwards, it's silly, and it just gets me mad when I start thinking about all of it. Except for the fact that Edelman will miss 4 games. But I made a video saying it'll probably work in his benefit because his body's going to be 4 weeks stronger coming back from his knee injury, and the Patriots will probably be 4-0 anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter. And they'll find somebody behind him to play well, so when he does come back, they'll have even better depth. So they're doing the Patriots a favor by doing this.
So, Edelman's missing 4 games, which leads me to this question. When do you think the NFL is going to announce Tom Brady's 2-game suspension?
When Edelman rats him out?
No, I'm saying when are they going to announce that Brady's only got 2 games and Edelman has 4?
Oh, because Brady ratted Edelman out. Interesting.
Yes, sir.
That would make me so happy.
Oh.
Because they're like buds. They're best buddies.
Yeah. Brady's one of the few players that would do that, I feel like.
Oh, see, I don't think he would.
I don't know. I think he'd do anything to help himself out. Maybe
you're right.
I don't think Edelman would do it to him. I think it would absolutely happen the other way around, though.
Weird. Yeah, I mean, I just don't – and I hate Tom Brady. I'll use any chance I can to shit on him. But I don't really remember any times where he throws his own players under the bus.
Wes Welker.
Wasn't that his wife, though, more so?
Oh, yeah, but he told his wife to say that.
You think? It wasn't a good throw, Tom. If your throw was more accurate, he would have caught it. Right?
It was way above his head, in my opinion.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it was.
Throw to a guy who's 5'5". Put it on the money. Maybe throw it to his chest there, Tom.
Exactly.
Anyways.
Tom Brady makes a couple better throws in this last Super Bowl. He missed a lot early.
He did. That he did. Trust me, but there's a – go ahead.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a – yeah. All right, yeah, continue.
Tell me all the players that are suspended to start this for PED use.
Don't mind if I do. There's a lot of them. Julian Edelman, Robert Turbin, Victor Bolden, who's a wide receiver for the 49ers.
Thank you. I was going to ask that.
Jarrell Freeman, Mark Ingram, Vontaze Burfict, Caleb Jones, spells Caleb with a Y, deserves a suspension just for that. I have no idea who he is or what he plays or even if he's an NFL player. Vidal Alexander, Kentrell Brothers, Kent Taylor. Doesn't sound like an NFL player. Sounds like just some random dude that you'd find at the grocery store.
He works at Office Max.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't take HGH at Office Max.
No, you can't.
Be careful. Mark Sanchez is still suspended because he hasn't played yet, and so his suspension hasn't started until you actually sign with the team. So I have a feeling that he's going to be suspended for a while.
Forever.
Yeah, basically. Jalen Collins, who I believe plays for the Falcons. Thomas Davis, the linebacker for the Panthers. I feel like there's if there's anybody that like deserves to be able to take PEDs, it's probably Thomas Davis.
He played with
yeah,
fucking
he played with one arm.
God.
In the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that dude's tough. I have a ton of respect for Thomas Davis. I remember after the Broncos-Panthers Super Bowl seeing like the images of his scar, and it was like his whole arm, and they like had to open. It had like staples in it still. This is
yeah.
Everybody is like giving Brady so much credit for his thumb cut.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Thomas
speaking
Davis.
of scars, did you see that picture that Jason Pierre-Paul posted of his hand after the fireworks accident?
Like recently?
Yeah, but it was like a warning about like on the 3rd of July as a warning.
No, I missed that one.
When you're playing with fireworks, and it was a photo taken like right after the accident that happened like 3 years ago.
Wow.
It was hideous. It was disgusting. He was missing like a whole 2 fingers, part of one, I think, and you could like it was like one of his like his thumb like looked like it was like turned inside out.
Yeah, his hand was mutilated.
It was gross. Yeah,
Do we know
how he came back after that? I don't know.
Do they know what firework it was that went off in his hand?
I don't know.
I feel like something
ends up
that
just like being like a sparkler.
an M80, like it has to be something strong. Wasn't a sparkler.
No, yeah, definitely not like a sparkler or a Piccolo Pete, like something.
Do you light off fireworks?
I will from time to time. I'm kind of like a little baby back bitch when I do it. Like I like light it with like one of like the longest lighter you can get. It's like it's like it extends like 10 feet, and then I'll light it like this, and then just run away.
That's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, well, I've seen those pictures. So
yeah, I've never been like into that.
No, like it's kind of a weird thing. Like I guess they look cool, but like I don't like understand the like it from a noise aspect. Like it's just loud.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's like
bright.
pretty.
People are enamored by bright lights.
Yeah, I like the big fireworks. Like
yeah, no, they're cool.
Like sit down in your backyard and look at in the sky, like at a I don't know, like a sporting event, like after a win, like they just fire them up like 100 yards into the sky, like just like the small ones, like I guess they're kind of cool.
They're all cool if you take enough psilocybin.
I would believe that.
Any sort of psychedelic really enhances your firework experience.
All right, well, we're going to make a 4th of July
Guess what? LSD is less dangerous than fireworks.
LSD won't blow your fingers off.
That's right.
Not directly, at least.
It'll blow your mind.
Might make you cut a couple fingers off.
As long as you're not getting some of that bad LSD from the 60s.
Yeah. Yeah, don't buy any LSD from Joe Namath, please. Don't do it. Okay, so, yeah, let's
last two guys. Last two on the suspension list.
Oh, okay.
Finish it.
Josh Morrow, Corey Leachett. All right, we're done. Next topic. So Sean Payton, Saints head coach, and Doug Big Balls Peterson, coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, were golfing, and they made things a little bit interesting. So they made a little golf wager, little course action. And so anyway, Doug Peterson won the golf game. And so now I don't know what he was wagering, but since Sean Payton lost, the Saints have to wear white at home when they play the Eagles in Week 11. So I think this is like too tame. If you're going to put something like football related on the line, it's got to be more important than because the Saints wear white at home sometimes anyway.
Right.
Like I want something more drastic.
Yeah, but that's like a fun thing that's not going to give anybody a real competitive advantage.
I know, but I want a competitive advantage.
No, so do I. I agree. They should have put something on the line.
Yeah.
But they have to play within the NFL rules too, right? That's why it'll never work. Because it'd be like our team gets to receive the ball at the beginning of the game and at halftime. Put your money where your mouth is.
I mean, you could do that, or like just, hey, Drew Brees doesn't get to play the first half. Sorry.
Start negotiating player time.
Yeah, like I don't know, like Taysom Hill gets his first snaps in the NFL because Sean Payton triple bogeyed on the 16th hole.
Or your kicker has to wear a blindfold every time he tries a field goal.
I like that too. There's nowhere in the NFL rules does it say your kicker can't be blindfolded.
See, we're already making this better.
Yeah. So I was thinking of some like interesting golf wagers that I'd like to see.
Yeah.
So I had one in mind, which was if Pete Carroll loses in a game of golf, no more gum on the sideline. You can't chew gum. I'm sorry.
That would just do everybody a favor, really.
I don't know. See,
everybody who watches football, I think, would appreciate that.
Yes. No, definitely. Absolutely. That's why I want it. I don't know. First of all, I don't know what type of gum he chews. Like, I know Sean Payton said he chews juicy fruit, but like the way Pete Carroll chews his gum, like it leads me to believe like it's like something a little more fishy, like maybe Nicorette. Just the way he just like goes from one piece to another.
I like how I said a little more fishy, like Nicorette.
Yeah.
Like he's just not smoking cigarettes. So
yeah.
He's doing something mildly unhealthy instead of something terribly unhealthy.
Well, I was going to say like something fishy. Like I was going to say like some type of drug, but I couldn't like think of anything that you like chew like gum.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it'd be weird. But it'd be very easy to conceal. However, I have a theory, and I wrote about this on ThatsGoodSports.com, little plug there, so I think Pete Carroll ran out of gum at the end of Super Bowl 48, and that's why he made that call.
Interesting.
To throw the ball instead of give it to Marshawn. So now, like, I think it's
about it.
Yeah, like it's like you ever have a teacher tell you like during like a big test or something like chew gum because it gets your brain moving.
Yeah.
Well, for one, yeah. Also, like chew gum or something because, like, we'll let you chew gum during a test because it gets the brain moving and whatnot.
I always just test well because I don't need that sort of stuff to try to help my brain.
Yeah, well, so it might be a performance-enhancing drug, actually, now that I think about it.
What if do you remember Quench gum?
No. What the hell is that?
Quench was like is marketed as like a sports gum.
There's like Big League Chew.
Like it was like super juicy and it was supposed to like hydrate you a little bit or some bullshit.
Yeah, it sounds entirely false.
You would buy it like at the sports store. Get some Quench gum. It was good for about 2 minutes and then it tasted disgusting.
There was definitely some ingredients in that weren't FDA approved. I'm sure.
Probably.
Like the whole thing probably never made it to the Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah, it's technically Pete Carroll's chewing on PEDs every week, right?
Yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Like it's like Adderall infused gum, which is probably more likely.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah. So no more gum for you. No. The other golf wager I was thinking of was like Doug Marone loses a game of 18. All right, you have to put sharks in the pool in Jacksonville.
Oh, cool. No, yeah. Jellyfish.
Jellyfish?
Because people might not see them, and then they jump in.
You might not see sharks either.
I think you're going to see the sharks.
I don't know. It depends how long you get without cleaning the pool.
That pool is pretty clear.
Yeah, but who's going to clean it with sharks in it?
I want to see people get hurt as much as you do, and that's why I think jellyfish are a better option.
I don't know. Like
a shark can kill them.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I'm not saying put box jellyfish in there.
White sharks. We're not talking like great white sharks. We're just talking about like sharks that give you a little.
You're not thinking about this right, Will, because what do you do when a jellyfish stings you? You have somebody pee on
your foot. Yeah.
What's going to be more entertaining to watch? A bunch of people peeing on each other after they jump into a pool full of jellyfish, or a death by a shark?
I have a feeling that people are already peeing on each other in Jacksonville after games, and it has nothing to do with jellyfish.
That's fair. I'm not going
to. Yeah, I'd like to see.
I did not say that, Jacksonville. The most shit I got talked about me was after a Jacksonville video I made last season. So
really?
Yeah, it was when they got into that fight with the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy tried to climb into the stadium or into the stands and fight the fans.
Oh, yeah.
And I called out the Jacksonville fans for using racial slurs and all this stuff. And they just all defended themselves by saying that Jacksonville or Seahawks were trying to hurt the Jaguars players. So I was a fucking asshole, and they regretted finding my channel and that they hoped I died. So
sounds like they deserve sharks in their pool.
I am not going to piss them off. That's all I'm saying.
Well, like how? Okay, so like, what are the chances like someone just gets blackout drunk by? I was going to say the third quarter, but knowing Jacksonville, like 5 minutes into the first quarter.
This isn't Jacksonville, not Buffalo. Halftime.
Fair. All right, halftime. Just finds his way down to the pool, dips his toe in. Whoops, one less toe. Shark took it off.
Shark's not going to bite your toes and bite your whole leg off. Have you ever watched Shark Week?
Not in a while. Have you ever seen Jaws? Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
I guess
I actually watched this cool show on Netflix about photographers, and one of the things was about sharks and misconception about how dangerous they actually are. So I think there's like 100 million sharks are killed by humans every year. And how many sharks kill humans every year? Like less than 10 or some shit? Yeah.
Should be more, in my opinion.
So jellyfish.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments. When would you rather see, a shark or jellyfish? Who has a better idea?
I have a feeling I'm going to win this one because, I think our listeners...
people do like violence, so I'm not going to disagree.
But people also like people peeing on each other, too, sometimes.
I would say people like that more, but...
As I've learned on the internet from time to time. Moving on.
You know what I would bet? I'd bet Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. If I beat Belichick, Tom Brady would have to lift heavy weights and train like all the other players and ditch his pliability stuff for the whole season.
Ooh. What do you think would happen to him? Do you think he just dies?
You'd get injured.
Yeah, like he has to eat tomatoes and stuff? No,
he has to eat sugar.
He has to eat like Taco Bell.
He has to lift heavy weights, and he can only eat carbs and refined sugar. Boom.
Oh, God.
Dead.
And no more kissing.
Maybe more kissing.
Well, you didn't specify where, because remember last week we were talking about, we were talking about how he's into some other stuff. But yeah, I want to see like Tom Brady ordering ass eating, folks. I want to see him order like 3 double-decker tacos and like a beefy 5-layer with like a large Baja Blast freeze from Taco Bell.
Yeah, he has to eat it on game day too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He has to just like eat one like cheesy Gordita Crunch per quarter, and like wash it down with like a milkshake from In-N-Out with a 4x4.
Just all that sugar and dairy. Mm-hmm. I want to see it in his body.
Yeah. Suddenly he's getting sacked like 12 times a game. Can no longer throw the ball more than like 12 yards.
It would be my dream come true. But I can't control his diet.
Unless you beat him in a game of golf.
That's right. Okay, Will, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to rant about DeMarcus Cousins to the Warriors. Because you're a Sacramento Kings fan, right?
It's true.
So this one stings for you.
It stings.
Same city area-ish. You're close.
It's about an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
So my thoughts, a very smart business decision for DeMarcus because he basically gets to rehab. Probably won't even play until like March. Basically a guaranteed title at this point. He's only making $5 million.
Right.
Which compared to LeBron signed for $38 million a year with the Lakers. Chris Paul's making something like $40 million a year. So took a pay cut basically to win a ring and rehab with no pressure. Good move on their part. However, the NBA is ruined. So that's all I have to say about that. Your thoughts?
What's Cousins' injury?
Achilles.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
I mean, he's not like a guard or anything, so he's mostly like a strength guy in the middle who will occasionally spot up and shoot a three.
Well, I remember everybody out here wanted the Nuggets to try and pursue him last year. Hold on. I'm looking up to see who the high. So Steph Curry is going to be the highest paid player next year. LeBron.
How much is he making?
34.7.
Oh, on the Warriors. Yeah.
Fucking Paul Millsap with the Nuggets supposed to make $30.8 million.
Yeah, he didn't do shit last year too.
Where is Chris Paul?
He signed an extension, so.
Yeah, that might not be in here yet. Mike, I was trying to look it up to see, like, if you thought it was cool LeBron didn't force LA to make him the highest paid player.
Oh, yeah.
But he's pretty close.
I mean, I think they did. Like, I think his agency probably forced him to sign Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, a little bright there, as well, though, because they have the same agency. And they're probably just like, hey, you know what? LeBron's going to sign here, but you got to do us a solid and overpay KCP as well, which kind of sunk their chances of signing DeMarcus because that was all the cap space they had. So
are the Lakers done, basically, for now? Or
I mean,
the Kawhi Leonard thing's still out there, right?
They're still going to try to trade for him, but there's a report that said the Spurs wanted Josh Hart.
LeBron James.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, we'll give you Kawhi for LeBron now.
Yeah, so they want Kuzma, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, who was the second pick a couple years ago, and 2 first-round picks for Kawhi Leonard. Notice they didn't say Lonzo Ball, though, too, because I don't think Greg Popovich wants any part of LeVar or the other two.
Popovich is not an idiot, man.
No, he is not.
The smartest coach in the NBA. And if he gets the guys he wants, like, I think the Spurs would be set for a while. I don't think there's a better – I think Popovich is the best coach I've ever seen in the NBA. And they have all the leverage there.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you're saying they're probably not going to get what they want from Los Angeles. So who's their next likely trade partner? Because I haven't been keeping a close eye on it this week.
Well, it sounds like Kawhi really wants to go to LA, but he hasn't said like the Lakers or the Clippers. So maybe try to get him over to the other team that plays in the Staples Center.
I wish LeBron would have went to the Clippers.
That would have been more interesting.
That would have been cooler, I think.
Yeah, I personally hate the Lakers.
I used to. I don't really care anymore. But it's like any team that's good for a long time, you just get sick of seeing them win.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we haven't seen like the true Lakers fans since like 2010, but trust me, they're going to be out and
they're going to annoy all of us.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I think is good for basketball.
It would be if they weren't just going to end up being like the 6th seed in the West, which is basically what's going to happen because like they signed LeBron and like barely got better.
You sign LeBron, you get a lot better.
Yeah, but they basically like got worse too by signing Rajon Rondo and
they made some weird moves.
And JaVale McGee, who's their starting center, which is just atrocious. And the Warriors got better. They're just like they're not doing anything.
Is this the Warriors kind of last year to have that group together? You think?
No, that's the thing. No, it's not. They could do this conceivably forever.
Really?
Yeah, like they could.
Isn't Durant going to be a free agent next year though?
He's got a weird like clause in his contract where he could just like re-sign for a year at a time forever. Yeah, just until the end of time. So they're probably looking at like a 6-peat at this point.
Dang.
Until
I kind of want to see it.
Oh, it makes one of us, my friend. It makes one of us.
It just makes the Bulls debate more interesting. And I'm not a basketball purist, so.
No, you sure aren't. You're a basketball.
I'm the exact opposite of what basketball fans probably believe in their hearts.
What do basketball fans believe in their hearts?
Peace and love and joy.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I don't know. I just want to see what I think's interesting.
That's what Bill Walton believes in his heart.
And to me, seeing the Warriors win every year is interesting.
That's where I don't think we park our cars in the same garage on that one.
No, I mean, I understand why it's insane, because I would never say that about the Patriots. So,
correct.
But the idea of a super team continuing to be a super team is fun to me. That's all.
It's kind of fun to see like people on Twitter get mad, including myself. So, that's all I have to say to that. Okay. That was more than 2 minutes, but that covers the NBA talk this offseason.
All right. And I think that concludes our episode for the day. Yep. We forgot to check the comments to talk about that.
Yeah, we sure did.
There were people who hashtagged Spanky last time.
Yeah,
we appreciate. Let's see. If you made it this far, we're just looking for something to see how many people listen to the whole fucking thing.
Well, yeah, do hashtag shark or hashtag jellyfish.
Hashtag shark, hashtag jellyfish.
Yeah, pick one or the other to tell us which one you'd like to see in the pool in Jacksonville.
Oh, I know it. And the last episode we talked about Jameis Winston, and I got called a liberal SJW, and bro, let the court decide for people defending Jameis Winston and his history of sexual violence towards women. So, and those got the most likes at 9 and 3. But then a bunch of really good comments. A bunch of normal, sane people listened, which I
I do enjoy how just like thinking like rapists should, not get away with rape is like, you fucking liberal. Right. How dare you?
He settled a rape case, okay?
Yes.
That doesn't mean he was proven innocent. It means the evidence was probably so bad that his only option was to settle. But anyway, hopefully this episode will have fun comments that we can talk about.
Yes. We're talking about sharks and jellyfish here.
This episode may not go up next Thursday. It may be Friday or Saturday, and that has to do with the news I talked about earlier that I can't talk about. So
that's right. All right, guys. Yeah, Brandon's going to be a father next week.
I wouldn't tease you with that. I would just tell you.
Yeah, true. I don't want to spoil that news. I was a guess because we're a guessing podcast here.
That's right. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. I already told you all the other shit to do. Will Keys on Twitter at WillKeys6. Bye. We love you.